Hey, good morning, guys. I have some really cool stuff this morning to share. So, because today is the 9th, I am recording it early. I didn't sleep too well last night, but the Father woke me up in the middle of the night, and I have a whole other word that He gave me. However, whenever I woke up, okay? I looked, and when I tell you this, it is not for any purpose except for a praise report of what the Father is doing. So, I got a surprise this morning in my bank account. At first, I was like, this has got to be a mistake, right? So I randomly got a bonus from a previous position. I'm with the same company, but with a previous position. Of course, at first, I'm just like, where would this have come from? And I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to have to get with HR to make sure that they place this correctly because, I don't know that this is mine. Well, I verified, and this bonus is mine. So, you're going to really, yes, people get bonuses, whatever, right? So, the reasoning behind this bonus is potentially so funny because I was in this position from January to August last year, which I was there much longer, but for last year. And they do annual bonuses in the first quarter going into the first quarter of the following year. Okay. So the reasoning, because it wasn't a great year financially for the branches I was managing, which was out of my control, but which you guys can look around and you can just see that, it's not far-fetched, right? So anyway, the reasoning was because we didn't meet financials. So I'm just like, okay, we're getting a bonus because we didn't meet financials. I can't make this stuff up. I can't. So let me just tell you something. Let me give you some backstory. So back in October 29th of last year, in observing Shabbat, I was sitting and studying. I was looking through my Dead Sea Scrolls book, and I came across Psalm 37 and the commentary on it. So I recorded on a voice memo about almost 10 minutes worth of a word and I didn't even realize at the time that that's what that was. Okay, so that was like the start of this new journey with me and the Father and Him speaking to me. So it's just funny. So anyway, in this word, it's highlighted. Psalm 37 is highlighted, and the gist of it is speaking of there being famine on one side and abundance on the other for God's people. So I encourage you to read all of Psalm 37, but I am going to read just a little bit of this, and then I'm gonna go and read a couple of other confirmation verses of what's going on. Anyway, so Psalm 37, 5-6 says, "Commit your way to the Lord, trust also in Him, and He will do it. He will bring forth your righteousness as the light and your judgment as the noonday." Okay? You skip down, just for time's sake, if you skip down to Psalm 37:10, it says, "Yet a little while, and the wicked man will be no more. And you will look carefully for his place, and he will not be there. But the humble will inherit the land and will delight themselves in abundant prosperity. The wicked plots against the righteous and gnashes at him with his teeth. The Lord laughs at him, at the wicked, for he sees his day is coming. The wicked have drawn the sword and bent their bow to cast down the afflicted and the needy. What is happening right now? We are taxed to death, literally. Like, we're taxed upon tax. I mean, really, if you really dig into that and you haven't realized how much we're taxed, even though we've initially been taxed, I mean, come on. So that's a whole other rabbit hole. But anyway, and it's not even just that. You know, we've got our Social Security benefits being ripped to shreds, and anyway, another rabbit hole. But interesting, right? So listen. To cast down the afflicted and the needy, to slay those who are upright in conduct. Their sword will enter their own heart, and their bows will be broken. Better is the little of the righteous than the abundance of many wicked. For the arms of the wicked will be broken, but the Lord sustains the righteous. The Lord knows the days of the blameless, and their inheritance will be forever. And they will not be ashamed in the time of evil, and in the days of famine they will have abundance. But the wicked will perish, and the enemies of the Lord will be like the glory of the pastures. They vanish like smoke, they vanish away. The wicked borrows and does not pay back. Wow. But the righteous is gracious and gives. For those blessed by him will inherit the land, but those cursed by him will be cut off. Okay, so that was Psalms 37, 5, and 6, and then 10 through 22. So let me just further tie this up. So if you go to Isaiah 60, I'm so excited right now. All right, Isaiah 60. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I will stop, but I do want to read a little bit more than just the verse I was talking about for context. So, Isaiah 60. Arise, shine, your light has come, and the glory of the Lord has risen upon you. For behold, darkness will cover the earth, and deep darkness the peoples. But the Lord will rise upon you, and his glory will appear upon you. Nations will come to your light, and kings to the brightness of your rising. Lift up your eyes round about and see. They all gather together, they come to you. Your sons will come from afar, and your daughters will be carried in the arms. Then you will see and be radiant, and your heart will thrill and rejoice, because the abundance of the sea will be turned to you. The wealth of the nations will come to you. A multitude of camels will cover you, the young camels of Midian and Ephah. All those from Sheba will come. They will bring gold and frankincense, and will bear good news of the praises of the Lord. All the flocks of Kedar will be gathered together to you. The rams of Nebaioth will minister to you. They will go up with acceptance on my altar, and I shall glorify my glorious house. So in all fairness, this actually is talking about Zion in New Jerusalem coming down and the nations and whatnot, like everything, every person and whatnot will flock to Zion, okay? And that's further talked about all through Isaiah. But funny, I have been, and I see numbers. I don't know if you haven't watched any of my other videos. The Father speaks to me through numbers. So for a little while, I was seeing 606 a lot. And so then I honed in on verse Isaiah chapter 60 verse 6. And just to reiterate, it says, a multitude of camels will cover you, the young camels of Midian and Ephah. All those from Sheba will come. They will bring gold and frankincense and will bear good news of the praises of the Lord. So this actually is paralleled with 1 Kings 10. So let's go to 1 Kings 10. Okay, 1 Kings 10. Now when the queen of Sheba heard about the fame of Solomon concerning the name of the Lord, she came to test him with difficult questions. So she came to Jerusalem with a very large retinue, with camels carrying spices and very much gold and precious stones. When she came to Solomon, she spoke with him about all that was in her heart. Solomon answered all her questions. Nothing was hidden from the king which he did not explain to her. When the queen of Sheba perceived all the wisdom of Solomon, the house that he had built, the food of his table, the seating of his servants, the attendance of his waiters in their attire, his cupbearers in his stairway by which he went up to the house of the Lord, there was no more spirit in her. Then she said to the king, it was a true report which I heard in my own land about your words and your wisdom. Nevertheless, I did not believe the reports until I came and my eyes had seen it. And behold, the half was not told me. You exceed in wisdom and prosperity the report which I heard. How blessed are your men, how blessed are these your servants, who stand before you continually and hear your wisdom. Blessed be the Lord your God, who delighted in you to set you on the throne of Israel, because the Lord loved Israel forever. Therefore he made you king to do justice and righteousness. We are to be like kings and priests, right? Okay, side note. She gave the king 120 talents of gold and a very great amount of spices and precious stones. Never again did such abundance of spices come in as that which the queen of Sheba gave King Solomon. Also the ships of Hiram, which brought gold from Ophir, brought in from Ophir a very great number of almug trees and precious stones. The king made of the almug tree supports for the house of the Lord and for the king's house, also lyres and harps for the singers. Such almug trees have not come in again, nor have they been seen to this day. King Solomon gave to the queen of Sheba all her desire which she requested, besides what he gave her according to his royal bounty. Then she turned and went to her own land together with her servants. Now the weight of gold which came into Solomon in 1 year was 666 talents of gold. Besides that from the traders and the wares of the merchants and all the kings of the Arabs and the governors of the country. King Solomon made 200 large shields of beaten gold, using 600 shekels of gold on each large shield. So it goes on to just say what he did with what all came to him. So this is quite interesting in my opinion. So part of the word that the Father gave me back in October was that there would be famine on one side, abundance on the other for God's people, and that the ones who were in famine essentially would see the prosperity of the righteous and they would gravitate towards the light, right? And that's essentially what Isaiah 60 is kind of talking about, is that, you know, that the nations would flock to Zion, but if you put it in context for what's going on. So anyway, so then you have in First Kings with King Solomon that the Queen of Sheba is hearing all these reports of his wisdom and prosperity and whatnot, and she wants to go see for herself. So she does, but she goes. When it talks about the spirit leaving her, she goes with a spirit of trying to, trick him or whatever is what I'm reading, and because of his wisdom and favor of the Lord, that spirit not only leaves, but then she sees the abundance. So then she's also compelled to gift him even more wealth. So it's a transfer from the wicked to righteous. I just find that just awesome. So I just a little thing down here, whenever it talks about in 1 year, the weight of gold which came into Solomon in 1 year was 666 talents of gold. Sorry, my husband was calling me. I'll call him right back. So many may look at that number and be like, oh gosh, that's evil. Well, I believe that is representative of the wealth transfer in this time frame, from the wicked unrighteous to the righteous. And we all know that King Solomon was I think he was the richest king ever, okay, and to this day. So I just find that interesting and fascinating. And like I said, it may seem like a little like nothing, but because of what the Father has been speaking to me and what he's opened my eyes to in scripture and the times we're living in, I just, I don't know. I don't believe in coincidences. Okay. I'll probably have a few scoffers like, oh yeah, sure, whatever. But I know that this was the Father, and I think that this is just the beginning of fulfillment of his promises to provide abundance to the righteous. And, but it's not for going out and just, doing your own pleasures. It's for sowing into the kingdom, and which I very firmly believe in, because we're in harvest time, right? We're in a time that we need to be helping other ministries further the word. We need to be able to help hopefully harvest souls, like gather in people to the kingdom. So that is one of the things that it's used for. So I hope this encouraged you. So I do also encourage you to look for these little things, like things that are unexpected, because the Father is loving like that, and he likes to just like sow little treasures here and there. And it's really cool for you to just see those things, because it's encouraging, and it builds your faith. It increases your faith. So it's funny. I normally pray. I was so excited. I normally pray at the beginning, so I'm going to pray now. Father, we love you. We just praise you. And we just love all the awesome things that you do for us, small and big. And we just praise your holy name, and all glory go to you. We just thank you for just this encouragement and the nudge and increase of faith. And we ask, Abba, that you bless your people as they bless you and honor you and honor your kingdom. And may only your truth go forth with all authority, in Yeshua's mighty name. Amen. Have a blessed day, everybody. I hope again that this was encouraging. So bye.